Yo, what's good, guys? Set Trippin here, and welcome back to my desktop. We are running Ableton again. Get to show you guys La Chilampina, which is out on FAMWAV 3, a playlist created by HERMANITO label with a lot of heaters. I'm excited to be a part of this project, and now I get to show you how I made the song. Give me a few minutes. Let me change out of this real quick. All right, much better. Again, welcome to my desktop, and we are going over La Chilampina, and we're going to go ahead and break it down in sections. We'll go over the intro, the breakdown, and the outro, I guess you could say, because it's kind of a cumbia, so it's a little structured different. All right, so let's get to the beginning part of the track. So let's listen in and see what we got going here. All right, so that's pretty much the intro, just a vibe. I wanted to go with this jungle kind of mystic sound. As you can see, I have my channels grouped: effects, leads, vocal effects, synth intro, and then the bass and the drums. So it kind of keeps me organized. Again, we were going over the drums. It starts off with a kick, the guido, and some of the percussions from this drum kit called Colombia. It's got awesome single hits on this. All right, so in the beginning, you guys pretty much hear the kick. Not a lot going on, just the bottom end cut off, monoing it, and a little bit of compression. A lot of these kicks already have a lot of compression, so we don't want to overdo it. Then from there, I have this guido riding with the kick. That guido I got from New Cumbia sample pack. It was one of the very first cumbia packs on Splice. I haven't had Splice for like 2 years. I think the last few samples I got were El Dusty's, and surprisingly enough, I'm not using any of them on this track. Again, toms, kicks, snares, you can only change them so much. They'll always eventually sound the same. Trying to make certain styles of music, you want it to sound natural, you want it to sound real. So again, you're gonna sound like other samples that are out there. We have these going, a couple crashes coming in here and there. Nothing too crazy. I left it very empty in the beginning because I want to use it for scratching. There's a sample that I really love that I could just perfectly scratch over that beginning part just to give it a little bit more. But because it was to be signed, I wanted to make sure that all the sounds in here were royalty free or made by moi. All right, so after the drums, we get into the bass. So the bass, again, you'll see that I have them doubled. I always flatten the MIDI just to save CPU, and then I can manipulate the WAV file a little bit more. So what I do is I always render them out to WAV files, and we'll go through them so you can see what I mean. On the bass line, basically, I didn't want to do too much with the bass line because I know that usually another song's mixing in. All right, so then we have this intro sound coming in, which sounds like some wet drums. And this basically I made with FM8. And then that with the drums. Yeah, just fills it in perfectly. And then we get to the first VSTs. It's called Mini V3. All right, so that guy's making that sound, and then eventually the answer to that question comes in here. That's Modular. It's also by Arturia. Another one of my favorites. Just does everything. This guy's pretty badass. But this is pretty much what's making that sound. So together. And the drums, of course. All right, effects. You got the birds in the beginning. All right, so then we can move forward to the actual drop, which is probably, I'm sure, half of y'all are here for. But you guys got to stick around for all this stuff. All right, so on the drums again. Percussion, Guido, kick, some crashes, obviously the bass, and then the leads are down here, and then we have some white noise that's just hitting. All right, so then we get to the drop part. We're gonna go ahead and unfreeze these, and we'll start with the, I call it the skank piano, and that pretty much is what's sitting. All right, and that's pretty much what's making the skanky sound. And then the actual lead itself, I mean, besides the processing that's on it, from dimension expander, compression, chorus, and then eventually an arpeggiator towards the end. I'll show you guys that. But again, this one's the one making the lead. Awesome VST. All right. And that's pretty much me using my push. I have a push and I have a Novation keyboard, and those are the two that I use and pretty much write everything. So that's pretty much how the lead was made. Here's the MIDI notes. So that would be the first part of that lead. And then I separate the channels because even when I change the keys, sometimes I like to just EQ it separate. So we're going to unfreeze these. Then we get to this part, which is the same synthesizer, just in a different key. All right, and that's pretty much that. I duplicated it, turned it into another channel, and on this part, I did turn on the arpeggiator. Everything else is pretty much the same, except the EQ I might move around a little bit because the sounds are different. I just like to get surgical with it. Then there's this vocal stretch that I did that sits underneath. It's like the Chilampina sample, which actually I was able to get my dad to do it. We were having a discussion and I was like, well, can you get on the microphone and just say what you said? But I ended up taking out just the pieces that I needed. And then we introduced this new sound, which is a FreeBot sample. Gracias FreeBot por este sonido que llenó la canción perfectamente. No más que le ecualicé la mayoría del sonido, porque ya tenía percusiones yo hechas, pero ya de ahí eso me ayudó mucho en agregar ese sonido que le da lo cholo. What you know about that? What you know about that? Pues así nos pone a bailar. But see, all I needed was just this part of it. That just filled it in. All right, guys. So that's pretty much the breakdown of La Chilampina. I went through everything. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys enjoy the song. I hope you guys are listening to the playlist. FAMWAV 3. Again, it'll all be in the description. Hopefully you guys go check out the rest of the artists. Hopefully you guys follow me on social media. And don't forget to leave a comment if you enjoyed this. Don't forget to subscribe. I will be making more videos, more breakdowns. I got another DJ set coming. That one's gonna be special, so stay tuned because that one's FAMWAV 3, the mix. Ooh, it's gonna be fire. All right, guys, peacing out.